Hi, how you doing? Oh, what's going on? Make sure this is low enough. Good. So, welcome to the replay. Welcome to Daily Fuel. My name is Bobby. I'm the host of this group, The Spiritual Artist. And Mikey's number one. What's up, buddy? If you're watching in the replay, which you probably are, unless your name is Mikey, then or you could be Mikey watching in the replay again. I don't know. Maybe you watch it again, dude. I have no idea. But if you are in the replay, then let me know that you're here in the replay. You can write hashtags. You can write comments. You know what you can't do? You can't put GIFs. You can't put like GIFs and things like that in lives. And it was annoying me until I realized why. Because you can't do them in like the live comments. They'd show up weird, and then the moderator can't see them. So I guess they don't allow GIFs in lives comments. Karina is here. Hello, Karina. How are you? So yeah, guys, if you're watching live, then you can also start commenting now and let me know that you're here. If you're new to Daily Fuel, you can comment the whole time that I'm talking. I'm going to do my spiel, and I ignore the comments, and I read my thing. I don't read it. I have some notes, and then I riff on them and stuff, and I barely breathe. And then when I'm all done, I come back to the comments, and I read them. And that's how this works. So, that's good enough. Amy is here. Hello, everyone. Warning, I am high on vitamin D. We've had 2 days of consistent sunshine. That's nice. So I read you said something like that, like you don't get a lot of sunlight there. Five minutes a week or 5 minutes a day, and they're not always consecutive. That's funny. So that's the UK, right? What part of the UK are you in? Is it England, Scotland, Northern England, South London? Where are you? Anyway, all right, let's get started. Blank canvas. Yeah. I was trying to figure out what to do today, and I was like, man, I'm drawing a blank. I can't think of anything to talk about. I was like, that happens to artists a lot. I'll talk about that. So there you go. So even having a blank canvas can sometimes inspire content, right? Isn't that interesting? So I'm sure we all know the expression of having a blank canvas. It's when you can't think of what to draw, what to paint, what to sculpt, what to make, what to dance, what to anything. Whatever your art is, there's always a time when you're trying to create something new or think of something new. You just can't think of anything. It's failing you. It's just not there, right? And it happens. And, I don't know. It happens in my art. It happens in my business. It happens in designs that I do for myself and for clients. And, it's frustrating. It's really, really frustrating. I think that sometimes it can if it happens enough times, or if it seems habitual, then it can be daunting, or maybe even start to cause doubt or self-doubt, some stress. Am I really good at this? Like, why can't I think of anything? Or sometimes you're trying to think of stuff and then you're forcing it, and then it's like it just happens over and over again. So, of course, I have 3 things to say about a blank canvas. Basically, 3 ways to overcome this. So to speak. So the first one that I thought of is just start anywhere. Just start anywhere. If you can't think of anything, just if you draw, just pick up a pencil and just start drawing something, anything, right? Just start anywhere. It doesn't really matter. If you're a painter and you're literally staring at a blank canvas, pick up your paintbrush and start putting paint on the thing, right? Karina, was it you that did the random strokes of paint because you only got 2 minutes between being with your kids, right? That was brilliant. That was beautiful. So that's I don't know if you started with a blank canvas and you didn't think of what to do, but just the fact that you were just making random strokes and it turned into something. Because I think what happens is just the act of doing. You might start seeing something. You might start to think like, that kind of looks like a this, right? And then you turn it into that. Or it can spark ideas, or even just a muscle memory. Because now, even though you don't have an idea of what the heck you're creating, now you're moving your arm. Now you're moving your body if you're a dancer. Now you're moving your pen or typing in the keyboard if you're a writer, right? Whatever your thing is, just the act of doing it can sometimes spark that muscle memory, or just spark an idea, or anything, except now. Because the difference I think, is the difference between actually doing without an idea of where you're going and this. Because when you're like that, then there's nothing to spark inspiration. There's nothing. You've resigned yourself to being blank. When you're just like this, it's like, oh, I can't think of anything. It's like I give up. I can't think of anything. I suck. I'm not even gonna bother. I'm just gonna go watch TV, right? So that's number one. Is start anywhere. It can get you excited, I think, sometimes. If that doesn't work, then try this. Do some basic stuff. Just maybe start doing drills, right? I was thinking about this. Let's take painter again. If you're a painter and you can't think of anything to paint, and even just starting anywhere and putting stuff on a canvas is too much, then start by practicing. I'm going to draw perfect circles. And just draw circles, right? Or if you're a singer, start doing scales, or an instrumentalist of some kind, a piano player or a guitar player. This is a guitar player, right? That's what this is. And so no matter what you do, I'm sure there's some kind of basic thing, the foundational aspects to it. In music we have scales. So whatever scales is for your art, do that. It can't hurt. At the very least, you're just getting in some decent foundational practice. And then, because I think sometimes that's the doing without the need to accomplish anything. It's like it's doing minus the necessity to finalize anything. I hear this volume isn't down all the way. I keep hearing my own voice, and it's like a bee in the room. I hear like it's driving me crazy. It was my phone. So try that. Another thing, instead of like drills or scales or something like that, is you could redo a piece you've done in the past. It's like, I can't think of anything. Let me just redraw this picture. Let me just repaint this. Let me resculpt that. Let me practice that. If I can't think of a new song to write, let me sing the existing song that I have. Or somebody else's song. Doesn't really matter. And then number 3 is, if all else fails, if you're really just completely stressed out, the blank canvas has just gotten to you, just walk away. Just take a break. It doesn't have to be today. It doesn't have to be right this moment. There's no, sometimes I have a deadline. The client is coming to pick up this thing in 2 hours, and oh my God, I haven't even started. Well, then you're kind of screwed. But, if it's not that, if you have time, if it doesn't have to be right this second, walk away. Do something else. Break this pattern. You don't have to sit there staring at the blank canvas. Go for a walk. Look at a tree. Watch birds. We were talking about birds. My nose is itchy. We were talking about birds and squirrels, right? It's like they're there to sort of amuse you. Like, look for something in the universe that's going to be like, it's okay. Hey, look at this. Look at this flower blooming, right? It's cool. You're fine. Don't worry about it. The spark will come back. I forgot to breathe. All right. Anyway, that was it. Short and sweet today. Blank canvas. So let's see what we got. Mikey is here and Karina is here. Amy, right? We read that. Amy, Norfolk, east of England. East of England? What the heck's east of England? The English Channel? What? France? Isn't that east of England? I don't know. I don't know. I need to know my British geography a little bit. Oh, is that like an island not on Great Britain, but like its own little island? I suppose, because there's a bunch of little islands around Great Britain, right? Great Britain's the island, right? It's very confusing. I don't understand your country. Nobody does, I don't think. I don't even know that you understand it. But anyway, Deb is here. Hi, Bobby and company. Hi, Deb. How you doing? Crimson. Hello, I made it. Hi. How you doing? Glad that you're here. Mikey, I love a blank canvas. The universe fills the emptiness. Yeah, you know what I do? I do this a lot. I do it with when I'm writing something. It's interesting. I do it when I'm writing something more than any other art. When I'm with other things, I like to bring ideas to the table, like especially a song. I don't like to start a song with nothing. I'll bring ideas to the table. But when I'm writing something, I kind of know the topic that I want to write, and I'll sit down and I'll purposely kind of let my brain go blank, because when I write, it's usually a flow of consciousness. So I'll just be like, what's a cool word? And I'll think of a word to start, and I'll start typing that word, and the next word will just be there, and I just start typing. And it's kind of weird how I do that, and it's just something that I've learned how to do, and it works for me. It's like a a process that I found one day, and I realized, wow, that just kind of flowed out of me. And then the next time I had to write something, I was like, let me try that again, and it worked again. And I was like, I guess that's my thing. So I didn't invent it. I don't force it. If it's not working, I usually walk away. I'll come back to it. But that's a way that I write. When I want to make a song, I sometimes what'll happen is I'll have a melody in my head, and but I don't play instruments, so I use loops. I use drummer loops and musical loops and all kinds of things. So I'll have an idea in my head for this song, and I'll start just looking through loop libraries. There's thousands of loops, and I'll find something that I'll just listen to all these libraries. And if you're outside my room or outside my studio and you hear me when I'm doing this, it's like I just go from loop to loop to loop, and you'll hear like bam, 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 and then the next one is right. Those are terrible sounding loops, but you get it. And it's just like a snippet of music, one after another, after another, after another. And it just sounds like noise if you don't know what I'm doing, until all of a sudden one of them strikes me. Like I'll just know it when I hear it. And I'm like, that's it. That's the bass line. That's the this. And then I'll take it and I'll put it aside and I'll look for something that goes with it. And next thing you know, I've got pieces to a song based on these loops. And then I try to sing my melody over it. So it's interesting. These are just processes that I've invented to get over the blank canvas. Where the heck was I? Karina says, just get messy. Yeah, right, just get messy. I don't know how Jackson Pollock came up with his ideas to make the paintings that he made, but I can imagine that maybe he just spilled paint one day and was like, that's cool. I don't know. If you're not familiar, Google him. He's the guy who did the like splatters of paint everywhere, and they're really cool, but they're big and they're interesting to look at. Crimson says automatic drawing and scribbles random brushstrokes. Yes, love it. Yeah, just get it. That would be like the muscle memory. Just getting into the motion, right? Like maybe just sometimes moving your muscles in your art is enough to just make your brain turn on and be like, what if you did this? And you're like, oh, that's great. Or you might start to see something in it. And you're just like, that looks like whatever, and then you're adding to it. But now you're doing it with purpose because you didn't know what to start drawing or painting or whatever. All right, you know that if I say drawing, I mean all art in general, right? Do I have to say or painting or sculpting, or do I have to do that every time? I don't think I do. I think you guys are smart enough, right? So, you can just start drawing that, and the next thing you know, it was like your heart just knew, like, oh, I wanted to do this today, but your brain didn't know it. So you weren't connected. That's interesting. Maybe the blank canvas, I wish I had thought of this before I did my spiel. Maybe the blank canvas is an indicator that your heart and your mind are not in coherence. If you didn't see it, I did a Daily Fuel a few weeks ago or a month or two ago on coherence. I should do it again. That's the idea where it's like your heart is extending energy out into the universe, and your brain is on a different frequency because you're not doing your energy work enough to line them up. And maybe the blank canvas, that frustration that you feel from the blank canvas, that's an indicator that, oh, I'm not in coherence. So this whole just get messy thing is a way to get into coherence, because now you're just creating from the heart. You're not thinking, you're not doing anything. You're just like, oh, what's one thing I like about painting or drawing? Well, I like moving the brush around. I like the feel of the brush on the canvas. If that's a thing that you like, I love the feel of the charcoal on the paper, right? I love the feel of my fingers in the clay. Just put it in the clay. You don't have to make anything. Just like, oh, I like that feeling. Oh, I like doing that. I like moving things around. Or I like listening to the loops. Maybe that's what I do. Maybe I just like listening to the loops. And then all of a sudden, boom, one just hits me and I'm like, that's cool. Let me see what I can make with that. And then the song appears. Thanks, Karina. I like that. Crimson says, automatic drawing. Oh, I read that one. That wasn't Karina. Forget it, Karina. No, thank you to you. That was Crimson. Thank you, Crimson. Karina, you got to thank you also. Yeah, you both do. Crimson also says, you have to open yourself up to the universe to flow through you. I didn't have to say that whole thing. I could have just read your next comment. So thanks. And Ray says, yeah, I'm here. I'm late. I felt a little blank, I guess. Oh, well, I'm glad that you're here, Ray. Thank you very much. Robin is sending me, what is that, butterflies. Karina says, I'm doing just to feel the flow. My only current goal is to feel and release. The rest will fall into place. Feel and release. I like that. So you want to feel the energy. You want to feel your love for your art, right? You want to feel the just sort of the I got a blank on the word. Right, but you want to feel the feelings that you get from doing your art, and then sort of just release the energy, just release the tension, release the stress, release the need to be in control. Maybe that's what a blank canvas is. Maybe it's this: I need to be in control. It needs to be this thing by Thursday, right? And because you're adding this unwarranted, unnecessary stress and resistance into the whole process, your heart's going, nah, you're getting nothing. You're not connected here, and it's not gonna come in until you get connected right. Did I read that whole thing? No, I did not. The rest will fall into place. Watched an interview with the lead singer of Incubus, who said one of his secrets to motivation in creation is not being scared to feel uncomfortable. That's cool. I love that guy. He's really, really cool. I love that band, and I love his voice. It just, sometimes when I'm really in the mood for them, they're like, oh yeah, these guys are one of my favorite bands. And then sometimes I forget about them. But yeah, he's really interesting. Amy said, I put objects I like on my canvas, like my brushes, stones I collected from the beach, and star confetti, and move them and fill the space. That's interesting. So you just sort of like take objects and move them around and see what you see. Maybe you see a pattern in the colors, or you see a particular object, or maybe you're feeling the energy of these things and you're seeing the aura of them. I don't know. But either way, that's really, really cool. And the butt of England. Cool. Robin, I was late. I missed the spiel. Yeah, so the schmeal. Amy, rude. Oh, I said something rude. Oh, cool. That's a first. I've never been called rude on Daily Fuel before. I'm finally doing something right. Hi, Bobby and everyone, says Facebook user. I don't know who this is, so let me see. Who's this? Rude. It's Crystal. Oh, hello, Crystal. Crystal's brand new to the group. Everybody say hello to Crystal. I think you joined yesterday, right? Crystal, if you can look at the top of this post, you'll see a link to Ecamm something or other. If you get a chance, doesn't have to be right this second, you can click that link and it'll say, do you give Ecamm permission to let Bobby see your face and your name when you comment? That'd be great, because then instead of saying Facebook user, I'll see Crystal on there. Otherwise, I gotta look on here to see who it is. But she says, hi, Bobby and everyone. Hi, nice to see you. And Amy says, but yeah, Crystal, thanks for joining. I appreciate that. Amy says, I will send you a map of the UK. Don't bother, because by the time I get it, you guys will be, a new country with, you won't be a monarchy anymore. So, I don't know. Deb says, I think I have a fear of a blank canvas or of painting. I feel more comfortable drawing as it doesn't seem so concrete or something. I'm scared to ruin a canvas. That's interesting. Okay, I can't speak too much to this from first-hand experience, because I'm not a painter, so I don't understand. Like, for me, if I have a blank piece of paper and I draw something and I don't like it, it's like, right? But I understand a canvas isn't a piece of paper. You're not just going to crumple it up and throw it away. But it was my understanding you could paint over it and start over. I'm not really sure. So I don't know. Plus, most of the stuff I do is digital, so if I don't like it, I just got, Command Z. Undo, undo, undo. Man, I wish we had Command Z in life, right? Or Control Z if you're a PC person, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I understand that. Scared to ruin a canvas. You know what? What if you just said, screw it, I'm not going to be scared to ruin this canvas? Because really, what is the worst case scenario to ruining the canvas? It costs you a couple bucks? Okay. But you can start over, The worst case scenario to not starting is you never get it done. You never do it. You never experience the doing of it. It's going to take a few rotten garbagey canvases to get good at something, and that goes for painting or any other thing. Robin said, "That's right. In my life, that would be the same as I'm afraid to do a show singing in front of people because I'm afraid to be bad at it. So I'm not going to do it. But if I do it and I do my first show and then I do my second show and I do my third show, let me tell you something. My first show was horrible." Everybody's first show is horrible, right? Everybody's first show is horrible. But when you finish your 100th show and you look back and you're like, you look back and you think of your first show, it's like, wow, I had no business doing that, except of course you had business doing that. That was your journey. You had to do the first one. You had to do the second one to get to the 10th one, to get to the 100th one. Now, my first Daily Fuel was not good. You should see my first videos. You guys watch me on video, and I don't know what you think of me, but for the most part, I think I come across as somebody who's pretty comfortable on video, right? But you should see the first videos I made. I used to joke about this in my old group because it was about how to do video, and my videos used to look more like this. And hang on, give me 1 second, because these were my first videos. I knew nothing about cropping. I knew nothing about framing a thing. I would just put the camera on my face, and it was like this. Like, let's see. Hi, my name is Bobby, and I want to talk to you today about logos and websites, and blah, 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 blah. And then, I watch those videos now, and I'm just like, that's scary. Like, how did I ever make that? But I had to make that video and the 25 others like it in order to learn how to do this. So, go ruin a canvas. How's that? Robin says, "I'm not so crazy about a blank paper or canvas because I always want more control." Sorry, I was looking to see if I skipped any because I don't like skipping them. I'm sorry, Robin. I'm not so crazy about a blank canvas or about blank paper. I can't read today. I don't understand this. I'm not crazy about blank paper or canvas because I always want more control. And really, art is more about letting things happen or learning to trust the universe. And until I'm willing to just let things happen, I seem to get stuck. Okay. So that kind of goes to the just start thing. Just start moving around on it and let it just come out of you. Just see what happens. We don't always know where it's going to take us. Just like anything else in life, we don't always know what the path is, but you just got to take the first step. This can be the same thing, right? So maybe the blank canvas isn't literally a canvas. Maybe it's your life. Maybe it's your business. Maybe it's your relationship. What's the next thing you can do to just kind of point yourself in the direction you want to go and take a step? That would be what I think you were just saying. Rupert is present. Nice to see you, buddy. Glad you're here. Mikey, yes, in music, the loop process is a great inspiration. Fill in a keyword for your mood and let the ideas start to flow. Yeah, I really like that. If you're a musician also, a great tool for loops is Splice. Splice.com. I don't know if you've ever tried it, but it's really, really, really cool. Even just for inspiration for ideas and stuff. I love it. Robin says, move my muscles. Good way to think about it. I want to remember that. Cool. I'm glad you like that. Rupert says, ever seen the play Art? It's about a white painting. No, I never did see the play Art. However, I did see the Batman from the 1960s TV show where they had some art critic competition or something, and the Joker made a painting that was just a blank canvas and everyone was praising it, and Batman was like, I'm paraphrasing here and I probably got this wrong, but he was like, that's not art, the people were like, what is this? But I remember that, but I'm sorry I don't know that play. Robin says, I am not in coherence, another Bobbyism to remember. Are these Bobbyisms? Cool, I like that. The coherence thing is from Dr. Joe. I take a lot of my stuff from him. And so Rupert says, ever watch The Joy of Art with Bob Ross on TV? Yes. Right? Put the happy little tree. Start with a happy little tree. Just start with a happy little tree. And a buddy, right? Then a tree needs a buddy. So you start with the tree, and then the tree needs a buddy. When I was a kid, I used to have 2 or 3 scenes that I loved to draw, and I would draw them all the time. And one of them was like a Navy scene. I don't know why I liked drawing Navy scenes, but I liked drawing Navy ships. And so I would draw like and I would spend a lot of time drawing the scene, and it kind of seems silly that I did this, but I don't know why I did this. But I was a little kid, and so I would draw like this destroyer and this battleship and these other little boats, and then like guys on them and the guns, and then I would draw lines of them shooting at each other, and then blow them all up. And at the end, I just had a scribbled mess. There was nothing of consequence to look at the end of this process, but I just enjoyed the process of drawing this scene. And at the end, I would throw the paper away. And then the next day, I would do another one. And it was like the different boats and different scenes and airplanes and all kinds of stuff. I just loved drawing them. But then I'd throw them away because at the end, they were just a mess. There was nothing to look at. It wasn't going to be hung on the fridge because all it was lines all over the place with explosions and stuff. And you couldn't see the ships. I haven't thought of that in a long time. But yeah, I guess that part of me being a little kid, I didn't care about this finished drawing. I cared about drawing it. That's all I cared about. Man. Yes, control is a huge wall I'm trying to tear down. Yeah, because we need to, what I just said, right? We need to control the outcome. We need to control the process. It's got to be this way. It's got to be this thing. It's got to be this big. Just make something. Crimson says, that's a great idea. Cool. I might try doing this with my collections. I don't know what the idea was, but I'm glad it was great. So, hello, Crystal, says Rupert, and hello, Crystal, says Crimson, and hi, Crystal. Oh, right, Crystal, because I said everybody say hi to Crystal. See, by the time I read it, I have no idea why. Why are you all saying hello, Crystal? I don't get this. And Crystal says, will do. I'm assuming that's you again. Will do. LOL. Cool. Great. Alex is here. What's up, buddy? How you doing? I mentioned that in one of my videos about how I didn't want to make mistakes and blah, blah. It's a waste of money, canvas materials, but it wasn't really a waste of money using the canvases and materials and things and stuff because I was learning as I was going. Yes, right, exactly, perfect. My picks are awesome, I think, and they wouldn't be had I not wanted to use material in learning. Absolutely. Think of it this way. What you're just saying is, right, in what Deb was saying earlier, I'm afraid to ruin a canvas. We need to invest something into our art to create and to cultivate and nurture our skills. Our talent is innate. It comes from source. It comes from spirit. We're born with it. That's our talent. But our skills are learned. Our skills are practiced. Our skills can get stale, and we can end up doing the same thing over and over again. We can get in a rut. We can use the same process to the point where we could teach it with our eyes closed, but it becomes boring because we're not expanding and learning new skills. So, in order to learn new skills, we need to invest in ourselves, and the things that we have to invest, we can invest money. More importantly, we can invest time, and a lot of times it doesn't really take a lot of money to invest in this, except for maybe the materials. But we need to invest something, and a lot of it, in order to cultivate and nurture these skills and just get better and better and better. And as we do that, I think it's that movement towards something that's what makes us happy, right? It's why I was so happy as a little kid drawing the ships and then destroying the boats. And throwing it away because I didn't care about a finished picture. I just cared about the process. That kids like that. Kids like to build something and knock it down, and they don't care that it got knocked down. You know, we need to remember how to do that. So good for you, Alex. Amy says, feel the fear and do it anyway. Paint dries so you can go over it. If it's thick paint, you can sandpaper when it's dry. I've reused canvases 10 times. Go for it, Deb. Cool. I think so, right? Even if maybe now you're like, oh, there's paint on it, it's changed the texture of the canvas. Maybe, what if now you're painting on this thing and the text, I'm just making stuff up because I don't know. Does it change the texture? Because you said if it's thick paint, right? Maybe what if you didn't sand it down? What if you let it dry and you painted over it, but now it was like this paint texture and stuff? and now you've got like one painting on top of another painting, but it's got the texture of the bottom painting, and you're like, I would have never thought of anything like this until I did it. I don't know. Is that a thing? Is that something painters can do? Can you do that? I don't know. Maybe you're like, what the hell is he talking about? I have no idea. Ray said, even God sourced the universe started with a blank canvas. Yeah, I suppose so, right? And Crystal says, that's me now when I'm making videos. I look super awkward. That's okay. Make the video anyway, and then make the next one, and make the next one. Here's something specifically about videos that I used to teach in my old group about videos. You can start with your phone, right? And this goes for anybody, because chances are you're probably going to want to make videos to market yourself. So let's talk about this for just 1 second. You could start with your phone. If you're brand new to videos, you've never been on video, start with your phone and make a video and watch it back. And chances are, if it's the first one you've ever made, you're going to be like, that is garbage, and I look hideous, or anything like that. These are normal reactions. It's not garbage, and you don't look hideous, but we think that we do. So you just throw it away, and then you make another one, and you throw it away, and you make another one, and you throw it away, and you make another one, and then you watch it back, and you throw it away. And then you make another one, and you watch it back, and you're like, oh, wait a minute. This one is less garbagey than those other 17 that I made. This one, I like how I look. And then you can be like, what did I do differently? Oh, I did it during the day instead of at night, and the sunlight shining in the room, and I looked nicer. Or I wore the blue shirt instead of the red shirt, and it makes my skin look nicer. You gotta experiment, and you gotta do things, and you don't have to show people your first videos. You can make 100 videos that no one on earth ever sees but you, and then the 101st one, you're finally like, oh, I like how this looks. That's your first video that you show. So that's one way to do it. I did not do that. I made a video and put it out there, and then I watched them back, and I'm just like, wow. Okay. Alex said, if God didn't decide to create you, he would still have a blank canvas to work with. I think it's referred to as the void. So the canvas came first. The artist came second. That reminds me, which came first, the rooster or the egg? The rooster or the egg? So yeah, we don't need to get into this whole philosophical thing, but yeah, what you guys are talking about is that we are, I say this a lot, we are the artist and we are the art. You're creating yourself. Think of your art. This might add a little bit of frustration to the blank canvas thing, but your art is an expression of yourself. So just, your heart knows what yourself is. And if you just start doing something, you'll find the groove. You'll find that coherence. And then all of a sudden you'll be like, oh, I know what to make. And whatever this is, whatever this doing is, might turn out to be complete garbage, but it just got you to the point where you got connected to heart and mind, and now you're like, I'm ready I know what it is that I got to make. And you might just take that and toss it and get a new blank canvas, except now it doesn't look blank. It looks like it's fresh. It looks like it's a fresh start. It looks like it's a brand new day. It looks like it's the opportunity to just knock it out of the park. Thanks. You guys inspire words in my mouth. I appreciate it. It's like the painting, a polar bear in a snowstorm. We have a joke in our house. My daughter loves Harry Styles. She's a Harry Styles fan. She got a Harry Styles calendar for in last December for 2021, and it had a picture on the back. Calendars, they have like a picture on the back that shows what each month looks like. So before you take the cellophane off, you can see what each month is going to look like. But she opened it up, and the picture for January was not there. It was just a blank white page. They didn't print the picture for January. The calendar was there, but the picture was not. So we always joke that it was, Harry in a white snowsuit in Antarctica or something like that. So that was a long setup for a very bad joke. The rooster, obviously, says Alex. And Robin says, it's not a blank canvas, it's that painting. I'm remembering something about Michelangelo that he always said that, I don't know if he always said it, but he said it, that he didn't create the sculpture, the statue. the statue was always there in the rock. He didn't mold things. He carved, he chipped, right? He would take a block of marble and turn it into the David. And he would say the statue was always there. Always there. All I did was get rid of all the extra crap that didn't need it so that we could see it. That's all he did, you know? And when you think of it, because he didn't do anything to that thing other than take pieces away that didn't go on it. So maybe the blank canvas isn't a blank thing that we need to add to. Maybe it's the thing that's there, and somehow we need to sort of clear the parts that don't go on it out of our minds, and the rest can just flow out onto the canvas. Or the page, or the movement if you're a dancer. Right? I said I didn't need to do that anymore, but I wanted to do this. Right, so fail. First attempt in learning. Cool, I like that. Very cool. Alex, we have new people writing essays. I like it. Thank you. Your depiction of starting with your battleships and stuff, and then the lines ending up with the scribbled mess, and then throwing it out in the process. That reminds me that life is a process and nothing in life is actually important. Nothing matters. We try who we are this life, experience with others, and then we just do it again. We play with a different part. I come in as Alex to this life, and next life I may come in as you know someone from Switzerland. I may come in as, someone from Switzerland or something. And it doesn't really matter. We're just trying it out. Life is the process. Yeah, that was cool. I finished it. It just hasn't moved. That is an interesting way to think about it. I think sometimes when I can open my brain up to that big source picture, yeah, that's cool. But when I'm like, I want to make this thing right now as Bobby, I'm like, screw that. I don't want to know about that. That doesn't matter because I want to make me, this person, want to make this thing. Oh, that's my boo-boo. You see it? It's looking a little better, right? I want to do this. So you got to get in the right mindset for that thing. But I hear you. I totally hear you. Alex, painters can do anything if they allow themselves to. Yeah, I think we all can. Yes, it's a perfect thing for painters to do. Paint on top of paint to create textures. You're right. Oh, cool. See? Teaching you guys how to paint, apparently. Amy, I put the objects on the canvas so I don't have the big scary blank staring back. By putting a load of loved objects all over like sea glass, stones, brushes, I fill the canvas and then remove little areas and paint from that color scheme. That's interesting. I really like that. And yes, I do paint over the texture of dried paint from a previous painting. That didn't quite go right. Really, really cool. Robin's giving Alex a thumbs up. Karimzin says, Alex, I connect with my inner child to accomplish this. Yeah, that's awesome. Amy, I've never done that, but a cool idea to try. Cool. Rupert, he took away the bits that weren't part of the statue. Exactly. Is that not what I said? Did I say that were the statue? Good idea. Yeah. Good idea. I don't know what it was, but it was a good one. Crimson says, why can't I click that? Crimson says, yes, the art tells me what to do or what it wants to be. Oh, that's cool. The art tells you what it wants to be. I like that. All my shit's philosophical. Nice, yeah. He flashed us. I forgot to put the Band-Aid back on. It's still a little scabby, and it looks worse on the camera than it is in real life. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I got poison ivy like a week ago. Or I think it's poison ivy takes a long time to go away. Anyway, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and it's just about going away. Now, you don't need to look at it anymore. It's just about going away. Anyway, that's it. We are done. So, I mentioned this yesterday. I meant to mention this in the beginning for the replay people, but if you're still here, and if you're still here in the replay, hang out 1 second. I am building a thing. It's a website platform and educational content system for artists, specifically for spiritual artists. And lo and behold, right? So I'm looking for about a dozen or so spiritual artists, entrepreneurs, people who have been in business or working in the field for about a year plus, to just talk with me and make like a little focus group to help me make sure that the pieces that I have in mind for this are actually pieces that we care about and can use. What are the must-haves and what are the nice to haves, if you're interested in helping me, I'm not asking you to buy anything, I'm not asking you to do anything, just spend a little bit of time talking to me and looking at the demonstration that I'm creating and giving me your feedback. I would very much appreciate it. Richard says I'm in. Not you, buddy, anyone but you. I'm kidding. So perfect. Deb is interested. Wonderful. Thank you. Deb, do me a favor. Send me a message in Messenger. I won't remember who said what on a thing, but I'm making a list in Messenger. So Deb, Richard, I got you already. Deb, if you can send me a message in Messenger, I would appreciate it. Anybody else? I'm going to be posting about this over the next week or so you don't have to say anything now. And if you're watching in the replay, I'm talking to you too. Okay, she says, thank you. Okay, guys, we are done. Tomorrow's Sunday, so no Daily Fuel. I'm taking a day off, and we'll be back on Monday. So have a wonderful weekend, and thanks very much. Deb, you get the booby prize today. You're the last comment. So, Crimson, it was you, but then I kept on blabbing, and other people chimed in. So, sorry. All right. Now Rupert got it. He said good night. See how this works? I just don't shut up, and then you never know who's going to steal the booby prize at the last second. So right now, Rupert's in the lead, and I'm about to hit the finish button. Let's see if anybody else pops in. All right, guys. Thanks very much. Have a great night. See you Monday. I'll be around tomorrow, but we'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.